the old slide in whatever I shared in the last class. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you can see the slide here.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So we are talking about the evaluation metrics. So therefore we should have a confusion matrix. Sometimes it is called contingency matrix. Okay. As I said, the confusion matrix will have basically 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay. So that is we see here. So confusion matrix will have 2 rows. So basically we are concentrating here. So these are the rows and these 2 columns. Okay. And then what we have to write, the actual class indicate the class level, original class level of the data instances. As I said, the test class is something like that. That class level will be known to you, but it should not be known to the classification algorithm. Okay, so and that class level is the actual class level, and you have to write on the left side. If you can see the movement of the mouse, so it is predicted class. So predicted class is something. Okay, it can use yeah. So predicted class is something here. Predicted class is like it is predicted by the predicted class is something that predicted by the classifier. So therefore, whenever you see the row wise, so that is predicted. So total class is yes. Instead of yes no, we can consider. So this is a positive class and negative class. So here positive class indicates the positive class. Yes means what I wanted to say here. So positive, yeah, yes class is equivalent to positive class and no class is equivalent to negative class. Okay. So row wise if you see, so that is the predicted positive class. If his class is yes and no is predicted negative class. And if you see the column wise, so that will give you the actual class level. Actual class level yes and actual class level no. I think next slide will give you much better view. Yeah. So same thing we represent with better naming with so this is something this row that is 0 0 or maybe you can say 1 1 because it has 2 rows and 2 columns. So 1 1 represent the true positive. Why it is true positive I will explain. And similarly this is set key false positive. As I said, the row represent the positive class. So therefore, predicted algorithm, that is algorithm which predicting the class level, will consider the positive class. Consider the positive class TP plus false positive. This all total TP plus FP are treated as positive to the classification algorithm. So therefore, total number of positive class predicted by the classification algorithm is TP plus FP. Okay, plus FP. Similarly, total number of negative class predicted by the classification algorithm is second row FP plus TN. Now, if you see column wise, so this is the actual scenario. Actual number of positive class is actually TP plus FN. An actual number of classes is FP plus TN. Okay. Now come to the nomenclature. So TP means true positive. That means both agree that they are positive class. Both means actual class level and the predicted class level by the prediction algorithm. If both agree, if you take the union of those sets, whoever the predicted class, total predicted class is this row, and total actual class, actual positive class is first column. If you take the intersection, so that cardinality will give you the true positive. Okay, so that is something called both are agreeing, so this is called the true positive. Now what happened, prediction algorithm said ki entirely TP plus AP are positive plus. That means in reality, out of TP plus AP positive plus, actually AP number of data instances which are in the testing set, not actually the positive class. That means it is falsely predicted as positive class, so therefore this term is called false positive. I think you are following me. What I said initially, entire row are treated as positive class by the classification algorithm. But in reality, out of this total positive class, only TP number of data instances are true positive. Therefore, rest of the positive class are false positive. Okay. So therefore, AP is said as a false positive class. Now, if you see column wise, okay, again this row wise, if you see for the second row total number of negative classes Fn plus Tn, that is determined by the algorithm. So out of that, Tn is actually number of true negative class. So therefore this will be the false. So that is something called, it is false negative. So it is incorrectly predicted as a negative class, which is actually the positive class. So therefore Fn. Sometimes this true positive is called the type error 1 and Fn is called the type error 2. Okay. So because both cases actually it is negative class, algorithm is saying is positive class, and here algorithm actually it is negative, actually it is positive class, algorithm is saying is it is negative class. So both cases these are the error, and these errors sometimes this is called type 1 error AP, and Fn is called the type 2 error. Okay. Now, so accuracy is considered as, if you have a classification algorithm, if the data is balanced, so then accuracy is considered as a TP plus Tn. So TP plus Tn divided by this number. Okay. So this is fine. This is for the balanced data set. Balanced data set, number of positive class as well as the number of negative class, they are quite in number are quite close to each other. So then we say this data is balanced, other data is imbalanced. So one problem with the accuracy measure is, we go here. Consider that that is two class problem, and positive class, number of positive class sample is 9990 and negative class sample is 10. Now if the model predict everything to be positive class, so what will be the accuracy? Accuracy will be 99.9%. Okay. So this is the scenario here. What we I may copy it here. Just a minute, wait, please. So same question is here. I am showing it here. So number of positive class. So here. So number, consider a two class problem. Positive class is 9990 and negative class is 10. If the model predicts everything to be positive class, then what will be the accuracy? Okay. So let me draw the confusion matrix for this scenario. So how do you draw the confusion matrix here? So you have a table. So this is position is this is all about the predicted class. Okay. So this is predicted class, predicted only. Okay. And this side will come. This side will come. So this is actual class. Okay. Okay. So now this is we are talking about. This row will give you the class positive, and this will give you the actual class. So now what is the classification algorithm? It says it predicted everything is positive class. That means if you add, this is something true positive, this will give you the false positive, this is false negative, and this is true negative. Okay. So in this scenario, what will happen? So yeah. So in this scenario, what will happen? Everything is positive class. That means TP plus FP is equal to what? 10,000. Okay. Okay. So then enter, then FN will be 0 and TN will be 0. Okay. So then what will be the accuracy? Accuracy will be TP plus TN. What is TP? If all is positive class, so and we know actually there are 99,900 is a positive class, and this is 0. So this is 0, right? So this is 0. Okay. So obviously this is going to be 10, and this is going to be 9,990. Okay. Because in total here you can write total is here. You can write it here. So total positive class is 9,990, and total negative class is actual is 10. So we are adding. So here TP. So this is we are getting out of TP plus FN. Okay. And 10 we are getting from FP plus N. Okay. So that will give you 10. Okay. Okay. So now what will be the accuracy? Accuracy is TP plus TN. So TN is 0. So therefore accuracy will be TP divided by total number 10,000. So accuracy will be 99.9%. Okay. So what, this is misleading, but this is no, so this is not even a classifier, like you say everything is positive or everything is not negative, so there is no need for anything, any classification algorithm. So therefore, if you say anything, everything is positive class, that classification algorithm is also giving 99%, 99.9% accuracy, and 99.9% accuracy is quite high. Even though that antigen test in the coronavirus is having the recall or specificity is close to 50%. Okay, so that is, even though people are accepting that, but here you see the accuracy is 99.9%. So therefore, there is something problem in the measuring of the metric. So therefore, we need to move some other good metric. As you can see easily, so this is not going to work. And let's say the people whoever coming for testing, we say everyone is having coronavirus. So this is scenario is something like that. Okay. Now if you change other way around, so you consider this class is the positive class and this class is the negative class, okay? And then in scenario, what will happen? Everything is coming at a positive class. So in that case, what will be the accuracy? Accuracy will be 10 by 10,000. So accuracy will be 0.1. So therefore, simply flipping, if you have the same prediction algorithm, and if you just flip changing the name of the classifier, which you are earlier you are saying the positive class, now you are saying that is negative class. So therefore, you are saying the accuracy drastically reduced to 0.1. So it is not the problem with the classifier, it is the problem with the how you see the success rate. Okay, so just simply changing the name, so it is you are seeing key accuracy is coming to 0.1. I think hopefully you understood that how the accuracy is coming 0.1. So what you do it to understand it, what you do it, you change the name. So you change the name, which was earlier is negative class, now I will say is a positive class. And then which was earlier it was a positive class, I will see negative class. So it is like changing the name, it's not going to change the characteristics of the man, right? So therefore, this algorithm is not going to work, because if you say, so let me write the same confusion matrix here. Okay, now what I do it, there are 10 number of positive class. So there are 10 number of positive class. So you write it here, okay? And 99,000 points are negative class. So 10 number of points are negative class, positive class, and 99,000 points are negative class. Okay, and then model is doing same thing. Everything is positive class. Then what will happen? This will be 10, and this will be 99,900, and this is obviously negative. Now what will be the accuracy? So accuracy will be 10 by 10,000. Okay, so therefore accuracy will be 0.1. Okay, so therefore what we should do, we should have some different measure to tackle this type of problem. Okay, so that I'll talk to you. So I have to again move back to the old slide.
So,
Yeah, you have any question? Yes.
so can you show us another example of a confusion matrix where false negative and true negative has also some value? Like all the four quadrants have some values.
Okay. Maybe in later class I may have the example. Okay. Some other slide, otherwise I'll come back and then I'll show you. Okay.
Sure.
Maybe I should choose the right slide here. What is the right slide? Is it? No. Okay, I think many windows are open. I am getting confused. This is the slide. Yeah. So now accuracy is misleading. So sometimes what is done is we use the different cost metrics. Okay. So cost matrix means if there is some misclassification, so there should be some penalty. Okay. So that is something called the cost matrix. So I think this can be explained with one example here. So let's say we have the cost matrix. So if there is any mistake falsely predicted as a positive class, so let's say if the patient is not a corona patient, but I consider him as a corona patient, and then I start doing so. So if that is the scenario, or if the corona patient is actually not a corona patient, I treat him as a corona patient. So both cases is a problem, as I said earlier. So it is the same confusion matrix here, but yeah, we have a scenario. So if we wrongly identify a non-corona patient as a corona patient, then the penalty is used, that is 1000. So let's say 100. And if it rightly identifies, so it is negative. So negative means penalty is not there actually. So this value is more indicate that this is the penalty value. Now on other way around, it is a corona patient, but my algorithm said it's not a corona. Okay. So therefore, so this is something one, and then if it is negatively identified, so there is no credit, no penalty. So this is actually reward. If you rightly identify, so actually positive class is rightly identified, so that is a reward is -1. And if it is rightly identified is a negative class, so then there is no penalty, and then on other way around there will be a penalty. So now here in this example, so what will be the accuracy in this scenario? So how do you compute the accuracy? I think you see this matrix, confusion matrix and the cost matrix. Then what do you have to do? How do you compute the accuracy first? So 150 example rightly identified out of total 190 positive class. Similarly, out of 310 negative class, 250 are rightly identified as negative class. Now, if you go for the accuracy measures, traditional accuracy, it should be 150 plus 250 divided by the whole 400, right? So that will be the total. Yeah, that will be the total number of pattern in the test data set. Now, if you consider the cost matrix, so it should be just multiply this individual element wise multiply 150 divided by multiplied with -1 plus 250 multiplied into 0. So therefore, the accuracy will be so -150. So lesser number indicate that more accurate. Okay, -150 divided by 400. So that will be the accuracy if you consider the cost matrix. Okay. Is it okay?
Sir,
So
Yes.
divided by
sir, I have
500.
oh, okay.
Yeah, divided by 500. Yeah, 200. Yeah, 190, sir. I thought it's 90. Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. Can we form this confusion matrix for more than 2 classes?
More than 2 classes, how confusion matrix will be formed? Is it that your question?
Yes, sir. That means we can form it or not?
Yeah, we can form also. So in that case, what we need to do it, one class is considered as a positive class and rest of the other class is considered as a negative class. Let's say if you have a 3 classes A, B, C, so A will be considered as positive class, rest whatever you consider as B, C, that will be considered as a negative class. Okay. Similarly, if you have a B will be positive class, rest A and C will be negative class, and C will be positive class and rest A and C will be negative class. So in that scenario, your confusion matrix will be different. Okay. So it will have 3 row and 3 column. Okay. And then diagonal element will give you the true positive. Okay. And rest are the error. So that
Okay,
will
sir.
see when what is called is, if we, as I said in a class, there is a data mining tool, Weka. So when we explore the Weka, then maybe we can see that. Okay. For the time being, you consider that two-class problem, but easily it can be extended. As I said, how one can extend. I think you have more questions. Go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead. You have a question, please ask.
No, sir, I'm clear with it.
Okay, okay, very good. So,
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So regarding that question only, what she asked, like the multi-class case, if we have n classes, can't we form a confusion matrix n cross n, like simply?
That is I said. That is I said.
Okay, okay,
If you have a 3 class, then you will have a 3 row, 3 column. That is I said.
and accuracy will be the sum of the diagonals, right?
Yeah, accuracy will be the sum of the diagonal.
Okay.
That we'll explore when we can really see actually Weka tool, that is Weka tool will give you the in details. Apart from the confusion matrix, they will draw many other what is called accuracy matrix. Okay. So this is the case here. So we can compute the accuracy here, but we need to know the cost of the matrix. Okay. So then what will be the cost? Okay. So that is another problem. To solve the one problem, we are bringing another problem. You need to decide the cost of the matrix. Okay. For what is actually done, so there are metrics. So where actually cost and other thing is not required. Why cost is required? Say, let's say if I say India bomb Pakistan, okay, and similarly someone said and the Prime Minister said, "Okay, India bomb Pakistan." So two will have the different impact, right? So if I wrongly said, whatever the penalty is given, and then when Prime Minister said that penalty will use, right? If it is a wrong statement. So therefore, giving the accurate cost, it will be really difficult scenario. So therefore, most of the cases, we never go for the putting cost for measuring the accuracy of the classifier. So best way to do, so therefore there are three metrics are there: precision, recall and F1 measure. Using that, this is something called cost sensitive measures. No need for going for a particular setting the cost for true positive, false positive and so on, but we can easily compute the value of precision recall, and we can compare the results with one classifier with another classifier performance. So there is not much slide here, so I need to add more, but I will directly show you one paper appeared in 2005 in pattern recognition. Later I will share that paper with you. And for your information, so this paper reference I got from the Wikipedia only. So therefore, Wikipedia has really good or rich literature over confusion metrics and ROC and so on. So sometimes you can also see the Wikipedia. Okay. Now I will share the corresponding uh, paper with you. Hopefully paper is open, right? Yeah, I think you can see the paper, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
An introduction to ROC analysis. So ROC is a receiver operating characteristics. It is heavily used in signal processing, medical science and other to analyze the performance of a system, and that is also quite similar as the classifier. Okay, so antigen test is also a kind of classifier test. Okay, whether it says कि these sample belong in positive class or say negative class or so on. Okay, what I will share you today may not be possible to talk about the ROC, but I will obviously give a view. So you can see the confusion matrix, right? So we have the confusion matrix, and yeah, in actual class it is the same way. But as I said in the last class, sometime true class you can write this side. Then this main diagonal will be remain same, but this will change. This false positive will go here, and false negative will go here, and then false positive will come this side. Did you understand here? This diagram is exactly the same way I showed you, but one can do in the other way around. True classes can be represented row wise, and predicted classes can be represented in column wise. So in that case, I said that these two main diagonal will remain same, only there will be exchange between the off diagonal. So now we assume this is our understanding that true classes on the column positive class, this is negative class, and this is predicted class. Okay. Now, as I said, accuracy will be true positive plus true negative. So that is TP plus TN by total number P plus N. That is the total number of sample P plus N. So accuracy is done. Now we introduce, to avoid this cost sensitive, we introduce two special metrics. One is precision and recall. And please remember, this precision and recall will be used many other domain. Okay. Even corona positive or negative, so they use the terms specificity and sensitivity. So that sensitivity is not nothing but exactly the recall. Okay. Not only that, here in this scenario, even though in software engineering guys also they will talk about software prediction and reliability and so on. So there also you need to measure this precision and recall. And then other specialization guys for software, what is that, security guy, obviously many times they talk about the precision and recall. So what is precision? Precision, whenever you talk about precision, you remember that precision means how much precise your classifier is. So therefore your classifier actually said entirely this entire row is positive class, and out of these entirely predicted at positive class, actually how many are positive class, how many belong to really in positive class, so that give you the true positive that I said earlier. So therefore precision is nothing but true positive divided by y. So precision is something like that, true positive plus false positive. Okay, so that is precision. Precision, you remember, always it go the first row. If you consider, please don't mix it up. So this is a predicted class. If it is predicted class row wise, then the precision is true positive divided by true positive plus false positive. That means true positive divided by the total predicted as positive class. So that give you the precision. Then what about the recall? Recall is that column wise. True positive divided by total number of sample in the data set. So true positive divided by total sample is true positive plus false negative. So therefore recall will be TP by F. Okay. And then what is accuracy? It remains same. There are two other terms are introduced, that is false positive rate. So false positive rate, you need to see column wise, second column. So this wise, if you see out of the true negative sample, how many are falsely predicted as positive class. So that you give the false positive rate. So false positive divided by F is FP divided by total number of negative sample. So that is other way around, false positive divided by false positive plus true negative, that give the false positive rate. Similarly, on column wise, you can compute the true positive rate. So true positive rate is nothing but TP divided by P. So here on the column wise, out of the total positive class, how many are really positive class that give you the true positive? So that is TP by P. Now there is another measure is called F measures. So many times what it is found, there is a trade-off between precision and recall. That means whenever in some classifier precision increase, recall decrease, recall increase, precision decrease. But best classifier should have a balance between precision and recall. Both should be quite high, let's say above 8 or above 80% and so on, or above 70% and so on. Now question is, if how do you measure with a single metric, single value? Because precision and recall will give two value. One classifier precision is given very good, another classifier recall is very good. So then how do you measure which one is actually really good? So therefore, combining these two measures, one measures came up. So that is something called F measure. So now if any classifier is giving F measure is quite good, then I will say ki this algorithm, this classifier is quite good. So if F measure is quite high, in that case what that classifier should follow, that classifier should give the precision and recall both should be quite high, then only F measure will be high. If any one of the two metrics, that is precision and recall, is low, F measure will be automatically low. So therefore one single metric F1 is quite used in many applications. Okay. So many applications say precision is very important. So especially outlier detection and so on, precision is very important. Accuracy is very important. F1 measure is very important. Instead of accuracy, F1 measure is very important in typical classification problem. Okay. So there are many scenarios that it is not sufficient. So some people move to the something called the ROC space. ROC space is talk about between FP rate and the TP rate. So should I stop or should I proceed? I will start in next ROC, carb and so on. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
I have little some other work, so I am little early. I am moving. I am leaving you. Yes. Go ahead. Yeah. Who was asking question? Some doubt? Is it fine? There is any problem? Acha, I saw some messages from you guys ki recording or say slide needs to be shared, right? Any problem? I think I could not.
No, sir, voice is clear.
Okay, but someone was asking question.
No one is asking.
You understood?
Yes, sir.
What is the
Yes,
formula?
sir.
What is the formula for recall? Sudhanshu was asking some question, right? Sudhanshu?
I was just that heading. I want to see again that paper's name. Full name.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Yes, sir. Now it is fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, then I conclude today's class. and tomorrow I'll start class at 8 o'clock. Maybe tomorrow also I'll leave early, but okay, at least 40 minutes I'll take class. Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.